Hello, everyone. Good morning. My name is Jorge Espinoza. Welcome to this academic forum number 1 of second bimester of academic writing. It's a great pleasure to be with you today. I'm a student of the UTPL University. Please receive a very warm welcome on this first academic forum of second bimester. And the topic that we're going to be looking at today is paragraph versus essay. We're going to be looking at similarities, differences. We're going to look at structure, and we're going to look at general information so that you can recognize and see the difference between a paragraph and an essay, so that you're able to write a proper paragraph or a proper essay. So let's start. So let's start with what a paragraph is. A paragraph is a brief piece of writing that's around 7 to 10 sentences long that they discuss one central idea. It has a topic sentence and it has supporting sentences that they're all closely related to each other to the topic sentence. In here we have a graphic of what a paragraph is. In here you can see this is the topic sentence. These are the supporting sentences that are related to the topic sentence, and you have a concluding sentence that restates what the topic sentence is. And as you can see, this is what a paragraph is. It's a very simple structure. It has a very simple structure. But the thing is that one thing that you have to keep in mind is that it has to have the 5 elements of good writing, of academic writing, which are coherence, unity, clarity, purpose, and they have to be addressed depending on the type of audience that you're going to be writing, whether it's formal or informal. And that's one of the key points that your paragraph must have. Now let's have a look what an essay is. An essay is a piece of writing that is written to convince someone or something, or to simply inform the reader about a particular topic. In order for the reader to be convinced or adequately informed, the essay must include several important components to make the flow into a logical way. And the same way as the paragraph, the essay follows the exact same structure. It has an introduction, it has a body, and it has a conclusion. However, if you compare it to an paragraph, an essay, it's much more longer, it's much more complex, it's much more elaborated. Yes, it does follow the same structure, but the essay has, like I said, it's much more elaborated. It follows a much more detailed, elaborated structure. But one thing that is important to mention here is that if you compare it to the paragraph, it follows the same protocol, which is it's supposed to have a purpose, clarity, coherence, unity, and it's supposed to be addressed properly to the audience. So this is one of the things that you have to keep in mind, whether you're writing a paragraph or an essay, that both of them have to have those 5 elements of good writing or academic writing. Now let's have a look at what similarities and differences. Let's start with the similarities. As you can see, the paragraph and the essay, both of them are focused into one central idea. Both of them discuss about one topic. They both use organizational elements to help the reader understand information. This is very important because in order for your reader to understand what point you are going to be developing about, or the idea you're trying to transmit, it has to follow a protocol, it has to follow an organization, and a particular structure. So this is very important. Both of them have an introduction, a body, and a conclusion, which would be the topic sentence, supporting information, and a conclusion. Essays have supporting and concluding paragraphs, just as paragraphs have supporting and concluding sentences. Like I said, the essay is much more complex, is much more longer, is much more elaborated than a paragraph. If you compare a paragraph to an essay, you definitely can say that an essay, paragraph is much more simple to write than an essay, because an essay, like I said, it requires a little bit more of focus, a little bit more of detail, and it has paragraphs, whereas in the paragraph it's just a single paragraph. Now let's have a look at what the difference is. In an essay, is a formal writing sample of a given topic composed of multiple paragraphs. By contrast, a paragraph is shorter by virtue, and it does not have that many requirements. Like I mentioned before, it's much more simpler writing a paragraph than an essay. Essays are focused about one central idea that are broken into sub-ideas written in different paragraphs, while paragraph contains a topic sentence that introduces a controlling idea, and your paragraph is going to be developed into that, based on that controlling idea. An essay is made up of paragraphs, whereas a paragraph is made up of one singular paragraph that it will have one topic and one idea, and then it will be focused into that idea. The essay it's developed based on a thesis statement, whereas the paragraph is developed on a topic sentence. And if the topic sentences changes, you have to write a new paragraph. These are very important differences when it comes to writing an essay or a paragraph, because some people can become a little bit confused with this stuff. So it's very important to take into account these differences. So now let's go a little bit deeper when it comes to paragraph and essay structure. When it comes to the purpose of the parts in the introduction, when it comes to getting the reader's attention or getting the readers interested, in the paragraph you have a topic sentence that it makes important statement about the topic, introduces the point of the paragraph, whereas in the essay you have a hook that it grabs the reader attention and reels them in. Because in the essay you have to have something that calls the reader attention. That's what is called a hook. Also in the essay you have the thesis statement that controls the subject matter of the essay and it says something significant for the reader. When it comes to the body, you have, in the paragraph, you have supporting sentences that develop the main idea that you presented in the topic sentence, whereas in the essay, you have supporting paragraphs, each one with its own topic sentence, each one with supporting sentences, and that will be based on the idea that you're going to be developing. In the paragraph, your supporting sentences, what they will do, they will explain, they will describe, they will provide examples, whereas in the supporting paragraphs, you will have the main idea of the paragraph is going to be based on the topic sentence that you're going to be providing on that paragraph. And when it comes to the conclusion, in the paragraph, you have a concluding sentence, whereas in the essay, you have a concluding paragraph. And the function of the concluding sentence here is to make a last effort to convince or persuade the reader about something. Whereas in the essay, it generally summarizes the essay, presents the main idea of the essay, and it gives an overall solution to a problem argument based on the type of essay you're writing, whether it's a descriptive essay, a problem and solution essay, etc. And finally, in the paragraph, they provide your concluding sentence, it provides a satisfying sense of closure, whereas in the essay, they give a summary of the main points of the topic that you were talking about or the idea that you were talking about. You have to highlight the main points that you developed in your supporting paragraphs of your essay. Now let's have a look at the graphic between a paragraph and an essay. In here, you can have a better idea of how they look like. A paragraph, like I said, it has an introduction, a topic sentence, it has a body with its supporting sentences, and it has a conclusion. It's a much more simpler way, simpler structure than an essay. An essay, you have an introductory paragraph, and you have 3 supporting paragraphs, each one with its topic sentence, supporting sentences, and conclusion. Each one of these will be talking about an argument, an idea, depending on the topic that you provided to your readers. And finally, you will have a concluding paragraph that will be summarizing whatever arguments you talk about in these 3 supporting paragraphs and restating also the thesis statement that you provided in here. This is something very important that you have to keep into account, whether you are writing a paragraph or an essay. But the most important thing that I highlight is that both of them have to follow coherence, unity, clarity, purpose, and both of them have to be properly addressed to the audience that you're going to be writing to. So it's very important for you to keep in mind these two, so that when you're writing an essay or you're writing a paragraph, you know exactly how to write them and you know exactly how to address your audience and how to express whatever idea you are trying to express. But like I said, the organization is one of the key parts when it comes to writing a paragraph or an essay. This is all for today. It's been a pleasure to be with you today, and I look forward to see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye for now.